Welcome back to Collaboration Conversations. I'm your host, Regina Partain-Bergman, CEO of Bridgeport Strategy. And once again, I'm delighted to have a guest co-host and the panelists that she has brought to the show today. It's going to be a lively discussion. I hope you all like numbers. I have a feeling numbers may come into play in our conversation. Personally, I kind of geek out on numbers, so this is going to be fun. But my co-host today is Sandra Lynch. Sandy and I have known each other for, I'm not sure how long, Sandy. It's a couple of years anyway, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years. Yep.
Yes.
And I honestly do not remember who introduced us, but we have been working together for 2 or 3 years and loving every minute of it. So Sandy, welcome. So glad that you are here today.
Regina, I'm so thankful that you are teaching us how to do new things. I refer to her as the profit doctor. She's about profit, but she says she doesn't like numbers. But thank you so very much for this opportunity. And this is, to me, is an exciting way of marketing. And that's one of the things you are good about doing. So allow me to introduce all of my new friends.
Well, first, though, we want to hear about you, Sandy. We want to hear a bit about your journey and who you serve and why. And then we'll have you introduce your guests.
Okay. I refer to myself as I am a hustlerpreneur. That's the best way of saying it. I'm a seasoned professional bookkeeper, 20 plus years, a serial entrepreneur of 50 plus years. So that makes me a little old. But I'm there. I serve small business owners, the individuals starting their business or stuff, so that they can understand their numbers. As a professional bookkeeper, I realize that many of the business owners don't know how to talk, read, speak, or understand their business numbers. So I'm on a mission doing that. And I use, also do, I want to say faith-based. I teach from 2 Kings 4:1 through 7, because I believe it's 8 principles for individual economic recovery there. So I've recovered from all kinds of interesting things. So with a woman, she did it, I can do it too. Because she didn't have the technology that we have.
Yeah.
And so I can do a little bit better than she did, because when she went to get her empty vessels, Elisha told her to go get empty vessels, she had just camels and probably whatever, because that was 860 BC. Hey, I got the whole
a day or two ago.
Yes. So,
Sandy, who's your ideal client? Who do you serve and why?
My ideal client is somebody that wants to know and understand money. How can they read their financial statement? I have a tool that I created. It's called My Price is Right, so that they can identify. With that, it teaches them how to identify profitable numbers, the selling price for their business. And I love that.
Awesome.
And then I also have learned some techniques about, I've just written 2 reports about money, how to increase your cash flow. Using gift cards, or I call them business money magnet cards.
Right.
Because that attracts money. If you stop and think about Starbucks, they are a multi-million. In fact, they're like the 9th largest bank in the United States because of their gift card program.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's who I want. I want to show people the mystery of some of this stuff.
Awesome.
Yes.
And you do a great job of that. I've had the opportunity to see a lot of the tools that you've created, and they're phenomenal. And in fact, I was visiting with a prospective client this morning, and that your Price is Right calculator came into play in chatting with them. So So Sandy, would you introduce each of our guests, please, and have them share a bit about themselves, their journey, who they serve, and why?
I certainly will. I'm going to start with, I think, Ken Bostrom. Ken is a wonderful. In fact, that's how I learned bookkeeping, was from the school that he's with. So, Ken, take over there.
All right, I am Ken Bostrom with Universal Accounting, and we have been around since 1979, and we coach and train accountants, bookkeepers, and tax preparers to build their business with everything from training the owners, training and certifying their staff. And we go through the entire bookkeeping process. So from start of debits and credits up through marketing and building your business. So we've been doing this a while. I actually have been around. I've been working the business for 30 plus years. My father is the one who actually founded it back in 1979, and he's the one that taught Sandy, and we've known her. We're not even going to say how many.
A few more than I've known her.
But I'll give you an idea. As I came in when I was back as a 20-something person, my father realized that we needed more computer training in the class. He was actually one that we kidded around saying he thought computers were a fad. But he realized that computers were just getting started and getting to be affordable. And so if somebody were to go into an office, they would need to know something about computers. So he brought me in because I had picked up computers pretty easily at that time. And I started teaching programs called WordPerfect and Lotus 123. And I just aged myself right there. And so I would teach them, and I turned in, started teaching some of the accounting classes, and just fell in love with seeing the lights come on in the students' eyes. And so
Yes.
I've been teaching ever since. And now we had about 23 schools around the U.S. teaching in person. And
Nice.
as technology grew, we went into selling VHS tapes and then DVDs. And now we've closed down all of our campuses and everything's online. And so we can take somebody that basically hardly knows which end of the pencil writes, because again, you don't know what pencils are. The younger kids don't know what pencils are today. But we can train them and have them set up with their own tax and accounting business. And so we're looking for anybody that wants to make money, possibly working out of their home.
Great. Ken, before we go on to the next person, I have to tell you that Paul Russo is listening and watching the show, and he said, loved WordPerfect and Lotus 123.
I miss certain things too, especially WordPerfect. I miss some of the things there.
That's funny. Okay, Sandy, go ahead.
Okay, then the next person is Dr. Sherry Pill Jackson. And we have only met each other once in person. The rest of it's been online, hasn't it?
You're right. You're right.
She's awesome. Super, super smart. She and I have some similar issues, but she's my go-to person as well. I tell you, I got some good people in my life.
You do, Sandy.
So Sherry, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, as Sandy said, I'm Dr. Sherry Pill Jackson. I am a former IRS agent. I'm a retired CPA, and I have a financial consulting firm. I help people keep what they earn, protect what they earn, and grow what they earn. Who do I serve? I serve high income employees and business owners, because a lot of people want to take control of their time and their finances.
Right.
So I help them do that by setting them up in home-based businesses, or if they already have one, helping them grow that, scale that, making sure that their structure is correct, and making sure that they have multiple streams of income so that they can build a legacy for their family. I'm here in the Metro Atlanta area, and partially with one foot or one toe in Costa Rica, where I'm developing a master planned shipping container community.
Wow.
And on the east coast of Costa Rica, actually.
My husband and I have looked at some of those shipping container homes. Some of those are absolutely amazing.
Yes. Everybody thinks about them as, oh, tiny homes. No, maybe they've only seen the tiny homes, but
these are
things
not
can be
tiny homes.
huge. Yes,
they
and
can
they're
be.
luxurious and durable for that climate.
Yes. I can see where that would be really valuable. That's awesome.
When are you going back down there, Sherry?
Either January or April. I went 2 times. I went in September and I just got back Wednesday. So got to get ready for the holidays and then probably go back in January.
Oh. So now you're building that community, aren't you?
Yes.
How many homes have you got down there now?
We don't. We have the civil engineer doing the site plan, and we have 4 or 5 models being developed by the shipping container company down there that's going to put them together. So as soon as I get the site plan, that's the go. That's the gun to go. And then I'll be
Awesome.
letting everybody know what's going on.
That's
Okay.
cool. Very
We
nice.
have the land, though. At least we have the land.
That's good.
And Sherry also grows things too. So,
Mhm.
and then my newest person, I just met her yesterday, is Tasha. We met yesterday, and I thought, oh man, I like her. So, as everybody going to tell you that once I say I like you, we're stuck forever, girlfriend. So go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tasha Sims. I am the owner of Redeemed Business and Tax Services located in Long Beach, California. I am a tax preparer. I also have my own tax course as well, CTEC certified. So I get students as well who want to get into the tax preparation industry. I'm a tax preparer. I started out in 2012 from home while getting my college degree in Christian counseling. That is my passion, which is counseling. My passion is mindset. What I found is that I started doing taxes while I was in college. I wasn't working a full-time job. And I just started to really, really, really grow beyond anything I could have ever imagined. I thought it would have been like a side hustle, something that I would have done like, a little bit of pocket change. But people really enjoyed me as a person. And what I discovered was after I graduated college, I ended up getting my own practice, and I ended up with my tax course. The client and the audience that I really cater to and attract for the most part is people with a limiting mindset. I never had a goal of becoming a business owner or, therefore having my own course. So I really, really go after people that have limiting beliefs, people who have dreams of having their own business. Maybe people who want to go back to school, but they can't afford to go back to school. They don't know how to make additional income. People who are renters and they want to purchase homes and they think that it's not possible for them. So I prayed for a platform where people can actually see me and I can help people with their limiting beliefs, which is something that I had. So I use my tax practice to attract people that are in a place where they're not content in life. And I help to transition them through their taxes, their finances, to help them understand where they are and where they can go and actually what they actually have that can help them to achieve the goals that they have for today. So whether that be purchasing a home, starting your own home-based business, that's where my tax practice comes in. I also do mentorship. A lot of the women who take my tax course usually stay with my company for about a year or two to get the mentorship, because a lot of times when you come out of the course, sometimes just going off and being independent on your own is still so much you don't know. So I'm really big on mentorship and, just really encouraging people that they can do more and have more.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah, what a beautiful marriage of skill sets, right?
I just ended up in taxes, but ultimately my purpose is so much bigger than the actual tax. It's the mindset.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome.
It's interesting, and I hope I don't mess up something here. Sherry's, your doctorate degree's in ministry too, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, beautiful.
And then also Regina and Ken are both Mormons.
Oh, okay.
So, and then my ministry is also teaching, like I said, from 2 Kings 4:1-7. So we got a nice little mixture here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hence my business, Redeemed Business.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yes, it's
Awesome.
intentional. Yes.
Yeah, certainly. Very nice.
And you notice home-based business seems to be a growing theme. And what I teach is 2 Kings 4:1-7. Do you realize when Elijah told the widow woman to go into the house, close the door behind you, that's your first home-based business model?
Yeah. That's a good way to look at that. That's very good. Right.
But wait a minute. Let me tell you another first. When he told her to go borrow many vessels, not a few, but many from the neighbors, do you realize that was the very first crowdfunding campaign?
Sandy's got this down. Let me tell you.
Yes.
Sandy's got this down. Yes.
She's changing perspective.
She has built her business on this.
She's bringing life to the scriptures for real.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Am I lying?
No.
No.
It's definitely applicable for sure. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
I think I told Ken, did I tell you that you had to ask me where was those scriptures again so you could go and check it out? It's 2 Kings 4:1-7 verses. There's 8 principles in that scripture, and I'll go through them real quick.
Truly built your business on that.
Well, number 1 is the story of the widow woman whose husband had died and left her in debt. And the thing is, the creditor was coming to take her children to enslave them. It sounds like a similar story today, doesn't it? But she had her why. She had a problem. So what is your why? Number 2, she went and got a coach. Now, the Bible says he's a prophet, but he's a business coach. Now, I see the heads nodding. Now, so that's principle number 2. The next thing is self-inventory. He says, what is it that you have? What is it that you have? And the widow woman's response was, well, I have nothing. Well, save for a little oil. Now I said, Lord, why did she say she had nothing? And boy, here's what happened. He says, because she'd been giving it away. Do you realize there are and Tasha, you hit on that earlier, that they didn't know.
Yeah.
Many people have a talent and they don't know the value of it.
That's right.
And listen, remember I told you Elijah was a business coach?
Yes.
What does a business coach? They bring that out.
They do.
So the next thing he does, he says, go borrow many vessels, not a few, but many from your neighbors. Go take those and put them in your house and close the door behind you and have your sons hand you and fill them until there's no more oil.
Mm-hmm.
First home-based business model. Do you realize that?
Yes.
So there we go. Then she's coachable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she does what's told, goes back to Elijah. And then he says, now what am I going to do? He says, go sell it and you'll have sufficient to live on for the rest of your life. You settle your debt and you live on for the rest of your life. And I said, God, okay, what am I supposed to do? He says, well, she had to know her numbers.
Yeah. Which is what we're discussing here.
Yeah.
As you said, Regina, numbers are going to come up.
Yeah, I knew they would. I want to go back to something Ken said a moment ago, though, when he was doing his introduction, that Ken, that you do this because you like to see, when people get it, you like to see that light. I have a client that I've told her many times in the past that when that light hits her eyes, you can see it from the satellites in space. I mean, she just lights up. And it's just like, oh, okay. But isn't that why we all do what we do?
Yeah.
Is to make a difference in people's lives. And then for me, it's also that being a part of the ripple effect as they go out and change lives.
Yes.
So we make a difference in their lives. They go out and change lives, and we get to be a part of that. And that's very exciting to me.
It's like paying it forward.
Paying it forward. Exactly.
Someone did it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. probably for all of us in some way.
Yeah.
So, this show is about collaboration, and it was
Right.
interesting. And before we got started, even before we came on camera, folks, we were collaborating. There was collaboration going on in this group of folks, right?
Yes.
So I thought that was really cool, though, that the collaboration was already beginning. So tell me about maybe what's the most rewarding collaboration you've experienced in your business or your personal life?
I would
Sherry?
say,
Tasha? Yeah.
I would say when I got started, when I transitioned from home to actually having my own practice, it was a girlfriend of mine, just a socialite, someone that I knew. And I remember when she sent me to her office, she requested me come to her office, and she said, I want to meet with you. And I came, and she said, I'm selling my business. And she said, God told me you're the new owner. And I said, God didn't tell you that, because he didn't tell me that. I had never been a supervisor on a job at this time. So I didn't believe that I can be in that position. So what she did for me, though, is she reminded me of who I was and what she saw in me. And she said, you have what it takes. It's not about the education. It's not about the degrees. You have what it takes, your character,
internally,
your personality. Yes. Yeah. She said, take this business from here to here. Now, remember, I left her office and I prayed and prayed and prayed. I said, Lord, if this is from you, then show me and make it so easy for me. No obstacles in my way. You send the people through the door. You make it in a way where nothing scares me and says, I can't do this. And that happened. Me and her collabed for the first 2 years while she was transitioning out. What I did was well beyond anything I could have wrote down on a piece of paper. So when we talk about collab, someone was sent to me to help me recognize who I was when I didn't see it. Right. And we stayed together for those first 2 years, and she was amazed and just couldn't believe what I had did in year one, and neither could I. But the collaboration, what she did for me changed the whole trajectory of my life. It wasn't the business. It was the fact that she took me and she believed in me, and she showed me how to believe in myself, and that just changed everything for me. Everything from that moment on. That was back in 2016 when I first started the company. Everything changed about the company. And the name, everything changed. But the collaboration with that was that it was life-changing for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the business. It's business can come and go. You can lose interest and things can happen. Recessions, pandemics, many things can happen. But I thrive through it all and have continued to thrive. I have never taken a dip because of the mindset and who she showed me who I was. And once I got that belief, I never let go of that.
That's a fantastic story.
That is awesome. Totally.
Yeah.
So my most important collaboration was really similar to what Tasha is saying. I was working a part-time job and a full-time job after my my entanglement with the insidious representatives of Satan, better known as the IRS. And my mentor came along, just contacted me on Facebook and asked me, was I speaking? Now, I've been speaking in the past, but I wasn't speaking on finances. More so, I was speaking about the being a whistleblower and talking about what the government is doing. So I said, no, I'm not speaking. And he introduced himself. And I said, yeah, this guy is pretty quick. He's pretty knowledgeable. And he basically, in 2015, this was late 2015, and I won't get into all the details of it, but he taught me the direction that I needed to go, because I had the information, I had the talent and all that, but I wasn't doing anything with it. I was what we call riding around I-285. That's the circles around Atlanta. So then I got on a path to 75 North, which was speaking. I perfected my speaking, and along with that speaking, I started offering packages. It's not just enough to speak and let everybody know that you're knowledgeable, but what do you have to offer to people? You know,
Right.
You have something to offer the marketplace. You have something that's valuable to the marketplace.
Right.
And that's what I learned. So between like October of 2015 and actually January of 2016, I had 2 books in my hand. They weren't my first book, but my 2 books, How to Stick It to the IRS and How to Escape the Rat Race, were done by January 12th. That's when they came out. And by the end of 2016, I was at 6 figures. So I kept doing what he said. Just like you said, Sandy, I was teachable. And
there you go.
I made sure that I sucked up the knowledge. And then he has a system in place. And that system works. So why buck it?
There you go.
I started going from then. You know, he's still doing what he's doing at a much higher level. And
Right.
I'm, starting to branch off into another area, but it's all about knowing your value and what you have to offer to the marketplace. And that's what I learned from that collaboration.
Very good. Both of those stories are just excellent. Thank you, Sherry.
You're welcome.
Ken?
One of my biggest, I think, successes I can think of a lot of little collaboration or little training, light goes on things that have helped. But I was actually also teaching for a company called Fred Pryor. Some of you may have heard of them. They sent me all over the US teaching classes, and I loved it, but they gave me all the fun classes like payroll law and sales tax law. And my wife got to the point where she said that she was tired of being a single mother. And so I ended up coming back. And at that time, I was introduced to a new concept of color accounting. And Sandy's very familiar with that.
Yes, she is.
In her training. And I thought, I've been teaching accounting and principles for over 30 years, and I've been teaching the introduction wrong. And so collaborating with the color accounting folks, adding that to our training, it's been amazing. I've had people that have come in and said, I had to drop out of school because I didn't understand accounting. I was trying to become a CPA and I dropped out. And now, after your class, I can go back to school. I got it. I understand debits and credits now.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of one of the big collaborations that helped me turn around and come back into this realm of working with the students now.
That's awesome.
So my partner was our president was just down getting the Inc. 5000 in Texas this week. So he was one of the Inc. 5000.
Nice.
So
very nice.
Growing all this. So it's just exciting to see everything coming together.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Sandy, what's yours? Your biggest collaborative experience?
Biggest
or best, most rewarding, beneficial, whatever comes to your mind. What was a great collaborative experience for you?
It's really hard because everybody that I come in contact is a collaboration, one way or the other. And so it's like a patch quilt. My life is like a patch quilt. My collaborations is a patch quilt. And if I can't use it personally, there's usually someone that needs it, and I don't mind sharing it. So I can't say there's one, and that way I'll also be safe with all of my friends that watch. See, that way they're going to say, well, what about this or what about that? See, so this is how I'm safe. What about you, Regina? You're not out of this conversation.
Oh. Well, as I've asked this question before, and I haven't really considered for myself what the biggest collaboration that I've had, but probably it's the work that I do with a company called Focused.com. And they are business coach trainers. And I have become a part of their team. As you know, in addition to my own business, I serve on their team. And I have the opportunity to work with many people coming into the coaching world, or some who've been in the coaching world for a while, but they're adding on skills and adding on tools and resources that we provide through Focus. And it has just been phenomenal to be a part of that and be a part of the growth and the training of those new coaches. So I participate in several levels with the company, but one of or two have been the onboarding of new coaches. We have a structured onboarding process. And then part of that onboarding process is they actually go through 3 role plays with our software. And so I've been in that role play realm and the onboarding realm and a couple of other things. I actually facilitate a group for the women coaches every Thursday afternoon. We've got about 1,000 coaches in the company, and about 200 of them are women. And so we have a group. You'll notice I'm wearing pearls. I wear pearls quite a bit. And so it was suggested we call that class Pearls of Wisdom, or that group. And it's just phenomenal to be involved with them. Ladies, you've been in corporate locations where there was a bit of what I call drama amongst the women, right? Yeah. We don't have any drama. There's no drama in this group. It is all just support, people supporting one another and sharing their knowledge freely, sharing their talents and abilities. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful experience. So that's probably mine, Sandy, is being a part of that.
That's another part of the world that I haven't heard from on our meetings. No wonder you're busy all the time.
Yeah. And I just came back from a conference for them in Cancun, my first time ever going to Cancun, and had the pleasure of being one of the speakers, teaching about lead generation, how to get leads in your company, whatever that company is, leads in your business. And it was just it was a really great experience being a part of that.
She was gone a whole week.
I was. We flew in on Monday and flew home on Sunday, and the conference was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we had a staff dinner on Friday night. So it was a great experience, though. And the collaborations that came out of just going to that event have been phenomenal. I met with someone this morning. We had met earlier. As part of my presentation, I debuted an idea for lead generation that a lot of people really took to, and he had come to me and said, hey, he'd like to pick my brain a little bit more about that. And so we did an exchange. I picked his brain about another aspect of business, and he picked my brain about that. And it's that collaboration that keeps us going, right? It's that sharing of knowledge with no expectation, right? Is there any expectation when you're sharing that knowledge? There isn't, is there?
No.
There's no expectation of anything in return. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So what in that we're doing about collaboration, what can I do to help each one of you here in growing your business? What can I do for you? So,
and that's a question we should be asking everybody we meet, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, Sandy, I'd like us to shift that just a little bit, if you don't mind, and talk about how do you collaborate with those in your field? How do you help them? How do each of you do that? What is it that you do to collaborate with your partner? I mean, with your clients and others? Tasha.
When I was in grade school, I only got in trouble for one thing. It was always talking. So I learned how to raise my hand. So I can go first.
There you go. Go first, Tasha. Lead out.
How I collab is what I do. What I find that has made me the most successful is that for me, this is just, I bring my personality and who I am into my business. I treat all my clients like friends. I don't treat them like clients. I actually build a relationship with them. My clients, I give them me, and they really are drawn to that. They can go get their taxes done anywhere. They can go get business consultation anywhere. I mean, it's everywhere. It's not like it's
right.
But people love you.
Agreed.
And what I do, the way I collab, is everyone that comes into my office throughout the year, they text me, even when I don't want to be texted. But I establish friendships with all of my clients, because when we have more of a friendship, they tell me the truth of what's going on. They're not coming in front of me telling me what they think they can tell me. They tell me the truth. And guess what? I do the same. We have a very transparent, authentic relationship with my clients that come in for tax preparation, with my students that come in, with the students that have became tax preparers. I'm now their mentor. So I have a whole system and a whole team of people where we actually mentor them. So we become, my tax preparers become my family. My clients become my friends. So for me, that has been the best thing in my business that has helped me grow, because I give people me. And when you treat them like friends and family, you're very real, you're very honest with them, and you're sincere about their growth and their well-being.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree with that. Yeah.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Can anybody add to that?
Well, for me, collaboration with my clients, I teach the clients how to start businesses or grow their businesses. And if their businesses need growth, I interview them on my YouTube channel. Nice. I have about 32,000 people on the YouTube channel. So that gives them a chance to put together some kind of a presentation. Sometimes I let them know in advance what questions I'm going to ask them, and sometimes I don't. But at least that gives them a chance to get some exposure and learn how to communicate publicly. I did not realize how many people are scared to death of public speaking. So, and I make sure that by the end of their courses that they've had some public speaking, and not even just because you're going to be a public speaker, you may not, but in business, especially if you're owning the business, you're going to have to be able to articulate your business and what you offer. So that's for my clients. For other associates, what we do is, one of the things we do is we do joint workshops. For example, I'm collaborating right now with a doctor. He's a natural doctor. He doesn't do with the pharmaceuticals and stuff. Right. And between the two of us, we're going to get people's health and wealth on track. So those seminars with him, it's almost like you're going to the strip mall. There's so many different stores, and you can get everything you need. So you're going to have your wealth from me, and we're going to tag team and then learn the health portion. And then also collaboration in the form of affiliates. So there are people out there that say, hey, I like what you're doing. Will you give me a commission if I sell your product, or if I introduce my tribe to your product? I have, let's say, 100,000 people over here doing this kind of business, and they have no idea what they're doing as far as the money is concerned. If I introduce them to you and you take them through your 12-week boot camp, will you give me a commission? Of course I will. So those are the 3 ways that collaboration works in my company.
Love it. Love it. Absolutely.
One of our taglines is, we help the people be in business for themselves, but not by themselves. So in collaboration, we have things like every week we'll have a group meeting, an accountability group meeting, where we might have some students working in one class in accounting, another one working in tax, another one working in marketing, but they get together once a week and just try to talk through it together and say, okay, what has happened this week? What stopped me from training? What stopped me from working towards this? Or what actually happened that was a good thing? What were the wins this week? And then we have life coaches. We have a life coach that will actually meet with them on a weekly basis or other basis to help discuss. So we're always trying to say, okay, what can we do to help you be successful?
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful.
And Roger is the president here. And one of the things, even with every meeting he has with the managers, with the employees, whatever he's working with his clients, it's always at the very end. One of the last things he says, okay, what can I do to help you today? And that's one of those skills that I want to build, but I haven't mastered yet.
Just like Sandy was saying a moment ago, what could she do for each of you? Yeah. So, Sandy, how do you collaborate with your clients?
I think with my clients, well, I think it's I take a little bit from what everybody's already said, like Tasha, everybody becomes my friend.
Yeah. That's so hard to do, Sandy, to become your friend.
Considering I just met Tasha yesterday. and Sherry, I've known for, oh my gosh, Sherry. And then Ken can go back to his dad. Now that gives you some idea. Because his dad's name was Alf. I remember Alf. And they had, there's a saying his father says, it's a win-win-win situation.
That's what I look for in every relationship is a win-win-win.
Yeah.
No deal is a good deal unless it's a good deal for both parties. That was what I grew up with every time. No deal is a good deal unless it's a good deal for both parties.
And so it's the friendship. Tasha, what you said is so true. It's the friendship. Yeah. And you'll see me moving over here because my phone is right here beside me, and clients are still calling, and it's like, I've got to get back to you later. Boom, 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 boom. And so the friendship, and then delivering more than what they expected. And then, like I said, I don't believe there's any competition in the world with accountants or tax preparers to me, because there might be something I don't want to do that you love doing. And so it's like, hey, girlfriend, you can do it. Or, hey, buddy, there you go. And because that's collaboration. You know, I think just this week in getting this group together, I sent Sherry an email. She said, I just got back. Yes. I'm serious. I couldn't believe it.
She's right. I did say it just like that.
I just got back from Costa Rica, and yes. Now, how many people do that? And Sherry's in Atlanta, and I'm in California, so there's a 3-hour difference. And I think that email went out about 8:00 at night or something like that. She said, I just got back. And so that, Regina and I meet on a weekly basis. She's a profit therapist too, you know. And I told her, like, I wanted to quit because it's stressful, and I got no's. And she says, I didn't want to hear that word. And so and then Ken, I love his email is, hey Ken. So that's my story, and like Tasha said, I'm going to stick to it.
You're going to stick to it. Well, I want to point out a collaboration that's going on with our audience, and I don't know if you've all seen this in the comments or not, but Paul Russo said, Dr. Sherry, connect with me. I know a realtor, an expat, and an investor/builder in Costa Rica.
Yeah, excellent.
And then someone also said hi to you, Ken. Ashandar asked how you are. But I love that we had collaboration going on before the call. We've got collaboration here. We've got collaboration going on with our audience.
Oh, there was one person that was supposed to be. There was 2 people that were supposed to be here that
weren't able to be here. Yeah.
Oh, and
Ash was having trouble with her technology, I think.
Sharifah.
Sharifah. Yeah.
I don't know what happened. And she had a cute little post that was coming through.
So she may have had some technical difficulties. We all know how that goes, right?
Oh, yeah. Modern technology.
Yeah.
The one thing I always said that, we can go to the moon, but we can't get across the highway. You know what I'm saying? We can go back there without. And here's the technology. You can go to the moon without having to fill up the gas tank. So, yes. So
Right.
There you go.
So
Awesome.
I really enjoyed this conversation.
And unfortunately, we're at the end. We have run out of time. We don't have time for another round.
Oh my goodness.
It goes fast, doesn't it?
It does.
It does.
But we covered a lot, and there was a lot of good nuggets and gems.
Absolutely.
That was given in that time.
Yes. So, Sandy, would you lead our wrap-up round, having each person share their final thoughts on collaboration and their contact details?
Okay.
And I will make sure that everybody's contact details get into the public comments.
Okay. Yeah, we'll start off with Ken. I'll go back with you, Ken. Your contact.
But first, your final thoughts about
your final thoughts. Okay, final thoughts.
Yeah, final thoughts about wrap up. Yeah.
It's all about working together and helping each other see what your priorities are and reaching and working for those priorities. So it is, what else can I do for you today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Sherry?
The final thoughts about collaboration is, I don't know of anybody in history that has done what they do and has been successful alone.
That's
So we're all constantly collaborating in some way or another.
That's right.
And we need to do that in order to grow and to thrive. So it's something that we can't do without.
That's right.
So true.
And Regina, they're supposed to also give their contact. Ken didn't give
I'm putting their contact information in the comments right now. And then Sandy, your final thoughts as well.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, Tasha.
Oh, Tasha, so sorry. I was focused on getting everything in the comments.
I just put my contact information in the comments.
Wonderful.
I really agree with Dr. Sherry. No one has gotten anywhere alone. And I think you're only as strong as your team and your network of people that you have around you. In order to be successful, you have to surround yourself by success. And that's not just success monetarily, but the mindset as well. I know I definitely didn't get to where I'm at alone. And I know in order for me to go further, I have to just increase my value by increasing my collaborations with others who have paved the way for me. So I do appreciate all of you guys. I know that I'm probably the rookie, not probably, I know that I am the rookie on here, but these type of collaborations are the things that are needed to help the new and up and coming entrepreneurs get to where you guys are and even beyond. So thank you for that.
So true. So true.
Natasha, listen, with all of our ages and experience together, you're coming out strong.
Fake it till you make it. I'm just kidding. Thank you though. Thank you. I think I was just born to be a leader, and I didn't realize that until later on in life. And just who I am, it aligns with where I'm going. But it's these type of collabs and knowing people like yourselves that I look up to. You guys have paved the way. So thank you.
Fantastic.
Well, I tell you, I appreciate each and every one of you. Number one, for responding, following through. I really do appreciate it. It encourages me, each one. When I ask for something and you show up and you do it, I just appreciate it. I don't know how else to say it. You've been there. And so Tasha, you're stuck with me, girl.
It doesn't sound like that's too much of a bad idea.
Yeah. So and I appreciate it. And Regina, I appreciate your concept on this collaboration conversation, going live in the tapes. I think it's a great marketing vehicle for all of us. It's a
For all of us.
collaboration on top of a collaboration.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, wonderful. Well, I appreciate you all being here. I especially appreciate Sandy for inviting each of you.
Yes.
And you coming and participating in this. You're obviously all changing the world. And that's what I love to see, is people who are making a difference in the world. That gets me very excited to work with people who are making a difference. So I'm going to close out the show here in just a second, but I want to invite you all to stay stay with me for a moment after the show closes. So to our listeners, to our viewers, I'd like to say thank you again for coming and participating and watching Collaboration Conversations, and hope you'll join us again next time. Watch your LinkedIn, your Facebook. You'll see the promos for them and see them coming, and come join us again. Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Bye.